Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron. Let's talk about season 1 of Giri, Haji. Giri, Haji, or Duty Shame, is a very special show. I saw it pop up on Netflix a while ago, and after I trudged through Messiah, I said, This looks cool. At its core, the show tells the story of a Japanese police officer who travels to London to look for his brother. His brother got into trouble with the Yakuza, and there's this sort of uneasy understanding between the Yakuza and the Tokyo police, and eventually they decide to send Kenzo to London to find Yuto, his brother, and bring him back. The story obviously gets a lot more complicated as the lives of everyone involved is impacted heavily. One of the major concepts of this show is how little split-second decisions or coincidences or anything we do really has a ripple effect and can influence the way things unfold in ways that you can't predict or expect. The show is not subtle about it. I don't think it tries to be, but I think it just pulls this off perfectly. There are a lot of things in this show that if they happened in any other show, it would feel like too much of a coincidence. Like, no way these two characters just happen to be at the same time at the same place. But this show does such a good job at integrating this concept into the core of the show and giving good explanations on why it does actually make sense for them to be at the same place at the same time, that it actually has the opposite effect. It's satisfying. The story moves a lot between Japan and England, so between Japanese and English, which I thought was great. There's no weird characters who should be speaking Japanese awkwardly saying stuff to each other in English like they did in Messiah. And the story never cuts between locations for no reason. The scenes always complement each other in some way, so this is just one of those shows where you watch it and you think, the people who made this show took such great care. They are such masters of their craft. It's just a joy to watch. The story itself is told in a unique way as well. From the trailer, I thought this was going to be some ultra stylized half animation type show, which could also definitely be cool. But the show actually doesn't use anything like that as a crutch. Very sparingly throughout the show, there are parts where they use animation or other kind of cinematic techniques to tell the story. And I was just blown away by how they managed to capture and convey the emotion of whatever the character is going through in that scene by using so many things beyond just acting. I'm tiptoeing. I really don't want to give anything away. But everything I'm gushing about would fall apart if at the core of this show you didn't have some of the best characters I've seen lately and a truly fascinating story. I really want to get into the characters. I really want to talk about them, but we only get to really know most of them in later episodes. So I'm afraid that if I do that, I'll go into spoiler territory almost immediately. So I'll just say that almost every character, I think actually every character, has at least one amazing moment that really makes it clear for you what they're about, what drives them. And the structure of this is the main plot, but every character has their own personal stuff to deal with is everywhere, right? In every show, book, or movie. But stories that manage to tie the personal stuff to the main story, even if these are two completely separate things that don't have anything to do with one another, like this guy has a drug problem and this guy is looking for his brother, the personal issues affect the behavior of the characters, which then impacts the role that they play in the main plot. So the stories that manage to show you that link, that chain, are just so much, like, they're so much more impactful. And this show pulls it off. It does it really, really well, is my really long-winded point. This is a really, really great show. I kind of want to keep gushing about the characters and just quote specific moments that I loved, but I want you to experience this on your own because I really don't know if this show is getting the amount of love that it deserves. But this show left me thinking about these people after I was done watching it, and not a lot of shows do that. Bottom line, should you watch it? Well, judging by the fact that I have been gushing about this show for a few minutes straight now, yes, you should absolutely watch this show with your face. I thought that beyond just being a well-made, well-paced crime story. This is one of the more thoughtful shows that I've watched lately, and it manages being that without being overly heavy. This is a fun show to watch, and I think it's definitely going to be one of my favorites of the year. So first of all, like always, I want to know, what about you? Have you watched this show? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Put your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's get that discussion going. But if you have watched this show, and just please use spoiler tags if you're going to be talking about spoilers, which one of them, like of the main cast, who was your favorite character and why? I know that this is like a really, I don't know, like chewed up question, but the characters in this show are just so special that I want the opportunity to talk about them with you. So just say, you know, talk about why you liked a specific character or like a specific moment. I have so many of these that I want to talk about. Maybe I'll make another video about it. So again, if you're going to be talking about spoilers, please use spoiler tags in your comments. And if you're finding binge watchers for the first time, welcome. I'd like to invite you to join the Binge Watchers community. Come talk about TV with us. It's a lot of fun. Subscribe to the channel. But in any case, keep binging. And I will see you next time.